Let's talk about the Legal and Compliance Committee. Can you introduce the committee and yourself?
Yes, thanks, Mike. Our committee, Legal and Compliance Committee, takes up any laws and regulation in connection with the derivatives and securities industry. We help FIAJ members to understand the laws and the regulations, especially in Japanese ones. And we also, if there is opportunities, we also talk to the regulators, JFSA and METI, about any laws and concerns about the securities industries and the derivative industries.
Okay.
And okay.
Okay. What's the main topic that you're going to be dealing with in the current business year?
Yes, for that current business year, we mainly discuss about the remote trading issues and that new regulations on crypto derivatives regulations.
Okay, so let's talk about the remote trading permission. RTP, is that how you would call it?
Yes, it's called the remote trading permission. This is a national license. And in order for foreign trader to become the direct member of a Japanese exchange, of course you need that membership in the Japanese exchange, but you also need to have a remote trading permission. This is a very special license from JFSA.
Who would want to have that type of a license?
Yes.
Or permission? Yeah.
Right. As you know that the couple of years ago, Japanese governments introduced that high-speed trading registration, which is one of the license for low latency, the traders like market makers and prop traders are using the algorithm. So that we see that lots of the prop firms and market makers obtain this license, and it's good. It's great. You could participate in the exchange trade. That's great, but one thing you have to you have to take is that you need to hire the executing broker, and licensed executing broker has a certain anti-market the disruption software to protect the exchanges. But through passing through that the market anti-market disruption software takes some seconds or something like that, and sophisticated the prop firms really look into the quicker trade orders. So someone doesn't even go through that the software. And market, the trade permission, you could become a direct members. So you do not need to go through that the executing trader, although you have to clear through that clearing broker, but you don't need to go through that the executing broker servers. So you could have the quicker reach to the exchange. So some the prop traders or market makers are strongly interested in applying for that the license.
So the HST, which we both worked on as part of FIAJ for about 3 years to get the FSA to agree to regulation that actually increase the size of this market. So now this is going to the next step with RTP. What's required in terms of submissions? Obviously, if you're going to be a member of the exchange, you need compliance officers. You're basically setting up as a securities firm, right?
Right. So it's called the permission. It's
Okay.
not the license. So it's a one
Okay.
grade up from the the license. So there are lots of there are the several the onerous the requirements to apply for that the permission.
Okay.
And something like the capital requirements or the personnel requirements like the compliance officer or representative in Japan. That could be achieved by the efforts of applicants only.
Mhm.
However, there are several other requirements like um, Japanese exchange has to enter into the information exchange agreement with applicants' home exchange.
Okay.
And also, Japanese regulators has to enter into the cooperation agreement with applicants' home regulators.
Mm.
So those requirements, applicant cannot do
So
by
it's a third
itself.
party requirement. Yeah.
Right. And then especially that the government cooperation agreement between Japanese governments and the home governments, it will be commenced even just after the near final of the application process of a remote trading permission. It is said that it will take the 1 year or two to process that the application documents reviewed by the Japanese FSA. So the risk is, you take 1 year, you take time, you take a cost to process the application, and after 1 year or something like that, the Japanese regulators start the discussion with the home regulators in the applicants. And something happened, and unfortunately, Japanese regulators failed to enter into the cooperation agreements. So that's really the I think the potential issue for that the permission.
Yeah, 2 years is a long time for an industry.
Right. That's
so
right.
by the time 2 years come by, your firm may not even exist.
That's right. So I would really like the Japanese regulators to get some the comfort or probability of entering into the cooperation agreement with foreign governments. I know that there are several the internal difficult issues to talk to the foreign regulators beforehand. But in order to enhance that the internationalization of Japanese markets, it really essential to get that the advance the comfort comfort for foreign firms to apply for that RTP permissions.
Okay, thank you very much. Seems like there's quite a bit of work that we need to do in this environment, and a lot of cooperation between the firms that want to apply for this, the FSA, foreign regulators, and hopefully FIAJ Japan gets in the middle to assist in coming up with some kind of a consensus that we can work with. Can you talk a little bit about the crypto derivatives situation?
Yes. Last year, the Japan government amended the Financial Instrument Exchange Act, and crypto assets now are viewed as financial products and governed by the Financial Instrument Exchange Act. And crypto derivatives are now traded basically by that licensed brokers. However, there is an exemption for foreign crypto derivatives trader to trade with that Japanese licensed the securities brokers or Japanese licensed banks. However, there is one qualification for foreign crypto derivatives trader, which is the foreign trader has to have a similar license in its home jurisdiction to trade at crypto derivatives.
So that means they need to have a crypto derivatives license or a financial license. What type of license would they need?
Yeah, the wording of a Japanese law requires that the crypto derivative license. However, as you know that there is not that such a the crypto derivatives license in the rest of the world. Only Japan has that license. So it is a great concern for the foreign traders. So
it's
on
impossible.
behalf of foreign traders, the members, we talked to the Japanese regulators, and we got some the comfortable comments from the regulators that not necessarily that specific the crypto derivatives business license the foreign trader has to hold, but it's okay to have a certain financial business license, like trading, capital trading license or something like that. If foreign traders has that kind of license, then you are eligible for the exemption, and the foreign trader could trade with the crypto derivatives transaction with Japanese securities broker without the Type 1 license. So I think it's pretty helpful for the foreign trader members of FIAJ.
Okay, thank you very much. Looks like the Legal and Compliance Committee has a lot of work to do. I know we worked on things like side letters, the HST issues in the past. So again, thank you very much for all the work you put in for the committee, and we look forward to working with the other committees along with the Legal and Compliance to basically bring about a better environment for the Japanese market. Let's turn to Q&A. So again, thank you very much, and we'll turn to our live Q&A to see if we can field some questions. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Mike, for that opportunity to speak about our committee.
Thank you very much, Ohashi-san. So I think he should be joining us in a second. As we wait for him to join, if there are any questions, I think we have one question so far. We can take about 2 or 3. So if anyone in the audience has any questions to Ohashi-san. Hi, Ohashi-san.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah, so the first question I have for you is, I think when we work with the FTC regulations, one of the issues that we had was working with English language with the regulators. So how do you think the regulators will be able to work going forward with the English language? And the other thing is, again, if everybody works with your firm, I guess English is not an issue, but there are a lot of still Japanese firms that needs to then reach out to these foreign firms. How do you think the Japanese legal profession is ready for the English challenge?
Well, so for that, the first questions, we really appreciate the FSA's and the KFB's efforts to deal with that English documents, especially HST, high-speed trading, the registration holders. FSA and the KFB accepts almost everything in English. So it's very smooth, and it's really shortened the time to prepare the reporting and other notification documents. So that's really great. And I know that the FSA sets up the liaison office, and FSA will accept the license application in English for discretionary investment managers license. That is great. So I am really hoping that the FSA will expand English language and the permissions to all other license, like broker's license and most importantly, remote trading permissions.
Okay, thank you very much. I think time-wise, we're kind of stretched here, so we'll move to the next report. So thank you very much, Ohashi-san.
Thanks, Mike.